You probably had this experience without ever noticing it consciously. Two women walk into the same room wearing the exact same dress. One looks slim, put together, quietly refined. The other looks heavier, boxier, less finished, even though the number on the scale is identical for both of them. The difference isn't the body underneath the dress. It's 5 posture habits that Japanese women have made default over generations, and that most Western women have quietly forgotten. None of them require exercise, none of them ask you to change what you weigh. Applied together, they can make the exact same body in the exact same outfit look 10 pounds lighter than the mirror was returning yesterday, without a diet, without a gym, without an ounce of actual weight loss. Before we reveal these 5 posture habits, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next Japanese-inspired habit that could completely change the way you see aging and everyday wellness. Now, let's begin with the first posture habit, a small adjustment that may seem almost insignificant at first, but can make a surprisingly noticeable difference in the way your entire body appears. Habit 1. Stop tucking your chin. Put these 5 posture rules side by side, and something quietly important becomes clear. Japanese women aren't slimmer than Western women because their bodies are made differently. They aren't. They look slimmer because they carry the same body differently, from the top of the chin all the way down, through every step of the day. 5 small adjustments: chin level, shoulders open, spine long, hips balanced, motion coordinated, combine over a lifetime into a body that visually reads 10 pounds lighter than the scale actually says. None of these 5 rules require a gym, none require restriction, and unlike diet or exercise, all 5 of them show results within a single day of catching yourself in the mirror. Which one are you going to try first? Leave it in the comments. We read every one, and it helps other women see which one to try next. If this kind of quiet, practical Japanese approach to looking and feeling your best is the sort of content you'd like more of, subscribing keeps the next video in this series from getting lost in your feed. And if the idea in this one changes how you'll stand in front of a mirror tomorrow, even for a single morning, a like helps it reach other women who have been trying to lose pounds that were never actually pounds in the first place. Take care of what you already have. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.
Habit 2. Stop rolling your shoulders forward.
The last posture rule of the day is the one that undoes everything the previous 4 just built, if it's wrong, because most of a woman's waking hours aren't spent standing still or sitting still. They're spent moving from one place to another, and the posture during those moving hours is what quietly determines how the body reads to everyone else the entire day. Most Western women walk with the chest, leading the body forward. A long stride, purposeful, getting somewhere walk that came from decades of hurried city life. The chin drops slightly forward, the shoulders roll inward against wind or fatigue. The arms swing widely to counterbalance the long stride, and the entire body reads as heavier and larger than it actually is, because the volume it takes up in motion is genuinely bigger than the volume it takes up standing still. Japanese walking is fundamentally different. The steps are smaller. The pace is unhurried. The heel touches the ground first, with a soft cushioned roll into the toe rather than a hard strike. The chest doesn't lead. The whole body moves as one coordinated unit, chin level, shoulders open, spine long, hips balanced. Everything the previous 4 rules built while standing still is now being carried through motion instead of undone by it. The visual effect of this over a full day is remarkable. A woman walking with Japanese motion posture takes up less visual space, moves more quietly through a room, and reads as more physically composed, regardless of what her actual body size is. Over years, the same body becomes indistinguishable from a genuinely slimmer one, because from the outside, that's exactly what other people see. The habit costs nothing and requires no equipment. Slow your walking speed by about 20%. Take slightly smaller steps. Let the heel land first and roll into the toe rather than slap flat. Keep the chin level, the shoulders open, and the spine long from the moment you leave the door. Do this for 1 full day, and notice at the end of it how differently the body feels and how differently the mirror returns you.
Habit 3. Stop collapsing your spine.
Most Western women stand with their weight quietly shifted onto one hip, one leg slightly straighter than the other, in what's often called a casual stance or resting posture. It happens automatically. It happens in checkout lines, at cocktail parties, in kitchens, at the school pickup. And every time it happens, the hip line tilts sideways. One hip rises, the other drops, and the entire lower body silhouette twists into an asymmetrical off-balance shape. The visual effect of a tilted pelvis is far more damaging than most people realize. The waist above appears to shift with it, giving one side of the midsection a small muffin top appearance even in a perfectly fitted pair of pants. The hem of a skirt or dress hangs unevenly, catching the eye and reading as something is wrong even when nothing about the outfit is actually wrong. And the legs below, being at different perceived heights, break the vertical line that would otherwise elongate the body. Japanese women stand with weight distributed equally across both feet, feet parallel, close together, both legs bearing the same load. The pelvis stays level, the waist stays symmetrical, the clothes hang cleanly. Nothing about the stance is stiff, it just happens to be balanced. The same rule extends to sitting. Crossing legs high, with one thigh over the other, tips the pelvis just as strongly as an uneven standing stance. Japanese women tend to sit with both feet on the floor, or ankles crossed loosely. Pelvis, level waist, symmetrical, silhouette. Try this the next time you catch yourself standing in a line. Bring the feet parallel and equal and let both legs share the weight. The mirror will return a body that suddenly looks 2 pounds lighter without an ounce of anything having changed.
Habit 4. Stop leaning on one hip.
Most Western women, without ever realizing it, walk around with a slightly collapsed spine, a small vertical compression that happens automatically after years of desk sitting, and that quietly changes how the whole midsection appears in every outfit. When the spine collapses even slightly, two things happen at the same time. The abdomen protrudes forward, because the space between the ribs and the pelvis is now shorter, and the organs inside that space have nowhere to go except outward. And the torso itself looks physically shorter, giving every top a boxy line and every dress a rectangular silhouette. The waist, which is the natural narrowing of the torso, disappears into the compression. Japanese posture keeps the spine long by default. Not stretched or forced upward, but held in its full natural length, with a gentle sense of the head lifting away from the tailbone. Think of it as the body's own quiet decision not to sink downward into gravity. When the spine is long, the abdomen naturally flattens back where it belongs, the waist reappears at its correct narrowness, and every fitted top or dress suddenly has a shape to drape across. The mental cue that works for most people is a small phrase, grow taller, repeat it silently anytime you catch yourself in a mirror, sitting at a desk, or standing in a line. Do this quietly across weeks, and the visual difference in your reflection will look like 2 or 3 pounds of belly fat quietly vanished, without any actual fat having gone anywhere. Everything above the waist is now held correctly. What quietly ruins the whole silhouette from here down lives at the hips.
Habit 5. Stop rushing your walk.
A short distance below the chin. Another silent battle is being lost in most Western bodies, one that quietly adds 5 to 8 pounds of visual weight to the torso regardless of what's actually there. It's happening at the shoulder line, and it's happening because of decades of desk work, phone scrolling and driving. When shoulders roll forward and inward, the default posture of anyone who spends hours hunched over a screen, the entire upper body compresses, the chest closes, the back rounds, the collarbones disappear behind fabric. And a silk blouse, a linen shirt, a well-cut jacket that was designed to drape openly across a lifted chest, suddenly hangs across a slumped one and reads as wrinkled, ill-fitting, and somehow off, even when the garment is exactly the right size. Japanese women hold the shoulders in the opposite position, without any conscious effort, slightly drawn back, slightly dropped down, away from the ears, chest open, collarbones visible, upper spine long. This is not a stiff military posture, it's more like the natural set of shoulders in someone who's just taken a deep breath and hasn't let it collapse yet. The kimono tradition rewards this posture at the level of clothing itself, because a kimono only sits correctly on an open chest and rounded fabric will hang wrong on rounded shoulders. Try this the next time you catch yourself in a window or mirror. Draw your shoulders slightly back and gently down. Notice how the same clothes suddenly appear to fit better, because they do. The body underneath just gave the fabric the frame it was originally cut for, below the shoulders. The spine tells a story that most Western routine never think to notice, and that's where the third rule quietly does its work. Put these 5 posture rules side by side, and something quietly important becomes clear. Japanese women aren't slimmer than Western women because their bodies are made differently. They aren't. They look slimmer because they carry the same body differently, from the top of the chin all the way down through every step of the day. 5 small adjustments: chin level, shoulders open, spine long, hips balanced, motion coordinated, combine over a lifetime into a body that visually reads 10 pounds lighter than the scale actually says. None of these 5 rules require a gym, none require restriction, and unlike diet or exercise, all 5 of them show results within a single day of catching yourself in the mirror. Which one are you going to try first? Leave it in the comments. We read every one, and it helps other women see which one to try next. If this kind of quiet, practical Japanese approach to looking and feeling your best is the sort of content you'd like more of, subscribing keeps the next video in this series from getting lost in your feed. And if the idea in this one changes how you'll stand in front of a mirror tomorrow, even for a single morning, a like helps it reach other women who have been trying to lose pounds that were never actually pounds in the first place. Take care of what you already have. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.